Hello everybody, welcome to our advent calendar tips and tricks, which I will impart as much as I can here live on our Facebook page. And of course we will upload this onto our YouTube channel. So hopefully you've all had a lovely weekend. I've been away, working away all weekend at the Christmas Wool Show, which I'm not sure. Oh my goodness, 2 weekends before Christmas. Ugh. Yes, definitely quite hard to do. So but I'm here and I'm alive, and that's the main thing. But you of course missed out on daily lives because I wasn't physically even anywhere near the workshop here. So I'm now catching up on 3 days, which is 12, 13 and 14. 14, 13, 12. You will have already opened this. In fact, today is actually the 16th, which means you've already opened number 15, and you will have hopefully had a sneak peek what you can take from yesterday's parcel. But today is all about the 12th, 13th, and 14th. So let's just see who's here watching. It's really hard to find the right time that suits you, but also me at the moment. So because I've been away all weekend, and I've had some really, really early mornings, just buckling down, doing some admin. I received an email from me at 5 or 6 in the morning. That's when I've been catching up on customer service duties. And of course, that's always trickier at the weekend than it is during the week when people are actually there. And why do I look at emails at the weekend? Why do I look at emails at the weekend? It's because I care. I hate to think that you're waiting for a reply and getting one. So, my fault entirely. So let's just see who is there. We've got a couple of you watching. Leah says hi, Steffi. Dawn says good afternoon, Steffi, and all fellow felters. Caroline says afternoon, everyone. Rose says hello, Steffi. Pip says hello, everyone. Anne says, ooh, hello. I had you as live at 2 p.m. What a numpty. Still, I'm here. I hope that was your mistake or not mine. It's very easy. I do this. Anna says, good morning from Illinois. Oh, well, hello. And, oh, did I actually put 2 p.m.? Did I actually? Honestly, I've got I don't know how to look this up now, losing you all because I can't look on where I'm meant to be. Well, those of you who've had me down for 2 o'clock and you're watching this after, then I do apologize a million times. Maybe I did. Really sorry. Well done for finding me, and I'm not going anywhere now. Might as well get it done with. Okay, so let's look at those days. Okay, we need a break. We need a break. Right, here is my overhead camera, and there's number 12. There's number 13. There's number 14. And I'm going to start with number 12. Haha! And in number 12, you have, by the way, you have more of this. I've already dipped into this. You've got what we have called a messy rainbow wool. And what's not to love about this color explosion on a grey winter's day? This is one of those wools that you can just look at without having to use it for anything at all. It is a mix of 80% South American wool and 20% viscose, great for needle felting, or why not use it for animal hair or a mane? Love, love, love this. I also think you can use it for fairies, make a pretty fairy out of it. It's an interesting fiber because it's got these really colorful, almost sort of splashes running through it. It's really lovely. It's a lovely wool, and you'll never guess what I've used it for. So here we go. That's this one. That's number 12. Number 13. Again, I have already dipped into this, so there's a little bit less in my parcel than there is in you. But this one here is the mottled red wool, another top. So 2 tops here in your advent calendar. One can never have enough red at Christmas time, very true. This fiber has a lovely mottled mix of reds. We believe wool can only be improved by being recycled wool. And this one is made from 90% recycled wool fibers, our kind of wool when we talk about sustainable crafting. Great for 2D and 3D needle felting. And it does have, it's almost sort of, it's got a bit of a variegated mix look to it. It's maybe hard to see it on the camera, but yeah, I did have sort of a bit of a epiphany when I saw both of them. Not that you would ever make that connection. I can promise you, you would never make that connection. Ah, I've just been hand delivered a cup of tea. It is, yes, that was my cup. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Tomke. So, and then we have got number 14, which I know you've all been very excited about this. And please don't worry if you've already got one. Trust me, whenever I'm trying to look for one, I can never find it. You got the Maker's edging tool. Now, with all of our edging tools, sometimes they have a brown protective cover on it. This one has got a white protective cover. You do need to take the cover off. But the exciting thing about this is that we don't actually sell this size anywhere. So this is not the one that we're selling, because the one that we're selling, the round one, is a size bigger. Can you see? So this is unique to the Advent calendar. You get your very own smaller edging tool. It's more the size of the square one, but you do need to take these protective covers off so you can see through 100%. And I haven't got some washi tape here with me now, but I tend to sellotape the two or washi tape them together so that you don't lose them, because they are actually really easy to lose. You know, you just put them down somewhere and then it's like, oh, where have they gone? Where have they gone? You can't find them. So do use a little bit of washi tape. Keep the two together. That makes them also a pair. And the washi tape, of course, peels off and can be reused. So that's just a little personal tip from me to you. So we have these 3 items now. What can we make with this? I also just realized I've forgotten something else to bring down, so I'm gonna have to yet again. Oh my goodness, honestly, ask my daughter to bring it down, but I'll just do that very quickly. Can you bring me the ... I'm not telling you what she's going to bring. Very mean, I know. So, right. So what can we do? What can we do with this? I know what we can do with this because I've done it. And it's very exciting because it seems to be a bit of a theme at the moment, what we're going to do. I noticed it that our Christmas tree, which much against German tradition, is already up. I have finally surrendered to the pressures of my family, my children who say, Mum, can we have the Christmas tree up? In German tradition, you don't put the tree up until the 24th of December, but our tree is up. And it was my daughter who pointed out yesterday, she says, like your toadstools, Mum, don't you? That's what we're going to do. We're going to make a little toadstool decoration. There it is, using everything that was in the 12, 13, 14, but there is a little knack that I will be sharing with you, because in a moment, like I said, I will be given something, bringing it in now, and then all will be revealed. But before we do this, I've just got to quickly check in with everybody. Oh, I had some pre-cut already. I will just have a quick look who actually yes, sorry, I'm meant to be live at 2 and made another mess up. It really reminds me of a birthday cake with sprinkles on it. Yeah, that's a really good use for that top. Pip says, Lily Rose stole my edging tool. As she said, I already had one. Oh, can never have too many edging tools. Angie says, I've now got an extra set of edging tools for it at the caravan. My fingers will be happy. Excellent. Anne says, Tomka, bless her. She's like your own Christmas fairy, brings you gift. She's my little lucky fairy. This is what she's been bringing me. Perfect. Thank you. So, if you've heard the rustling in the background, she's just cut me a piece. It is baking paper. No, we're not going to make any cookies, but it does work really, really well for making a flat shape if you don't have anything to needle felt on. So, not only this, but let's have a look at this. So, you want to make a toadstool. You have no template. All you have is a felting mat and some tops. Now tops, we all know, are really hard to needle felt down on their own into a 3D shape or anything without a background. But despair not, because the baking paper will come to your rescue. So first of all, you're going to hand draw your toadstool shape onto there. There we go. You can make it bigger as you go. Make it a little bit neater. There's my toadstool. You can make it a bigger cap. Let's make it a bigger cap like this, because none of it matters. And then you're going to place your parchment paper on top of your felting mat. Ready? Maybe tuck it under there. Now you're going to take, let's start with the stem of the toadstool. I'm going to take some of this lovely wool, and I'm actually going to make it a little bit shorter. And also, when you do needle felt with tops and you're trying to make a shape, which even though it's not quite 3D, it feels more 3D than just entirely flat, like on a landscape. You can mess the wool up a little bit. So mix these fibers up a bit. They do felt a lot easier if you mix them up like that. And then you place them onto your parchment paper. I'm going to use a medium felting needle for this. I'm going to stab all the way through the parchment paper, but I'm going to stay within my drawn shape. And you do want a little bit of this to spill into the cap of the toadstool, because we need to join the two shapes together, obviously. And this method I discovered first. I don't know if anybody else has done this, but for me it was a complete self-discovery. I discovered first with our fruit bat, where I wanted to make really thin wings. So don't felt it down too much, and then have a bit of this going into the cap. So I'm just going to, and do the same with your red wool. Mix it up, because this is a really incredibly long fiber. So you will thank me for it, just mixing it up a bit. If you can shorten it whilst you're doing this, even better. And then pop that onto the top. And just get the shape of that going for now. So I'm felt it down in the middle where I know. So I'm finding the edge by stabbing into the edge and folding the rest over. So I'm just trying to establish that shape for now. So I've got my little toadstool shape, which I have hand drawn onto the parchment paper, or the greaseproof paper, whatever you want to call it, baking paper. And I don't know if parchment paper is a word. Somebody once said to me that's not really what you call it. So, and then instead of pulling your shape off the paper, you're initially pulling the paper off your felting mat. And that is why the parchment paper is so useful, because you can now easily pull your shape off the parchment paper. Nothing is stuck on anything. And to be perfectly honest, I don't think you need to put it back on again. You can now, you've got a base here now, where you can use the shape and just stab into it. And now you just peel it off the mat. If you wish, you can always put it back onto the mat, stab a little bit more. It definitely stops the fibers from getting permanently fixed onto your mat. And now that I've got the shape going, I don't need to put it back onto my template, and just mix this up a bit, and then add more bulk to it if you wish. So you can build the layers now on top of what you've already created, and on the back, because I want it to be double-sided. So I have made this double-sided so it looks great from both sides. I'm going to have to work on both sides in a minute. Remember, you do have to take it off the mat. So always take the paper off, then take the shape off. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more onto the other side. So you don't need to do toadstools this way. You can do any shape. If you have a template you can trace, then do that as well, because obviously the parchment paper is see-through to an extent, especially if you buy the white one. We've got the brown one, which I think is made from recycled paper. And then just stab it down. Get the size of the toadstool however you want it. Add more wool to it to build bulk. But the good thing is, with wool tops, it is really, really notoriously hard to felt them down. If you are using nothing but wool tops, I don't know why you would. Just get wool bats, for goodness sake. That's so old news, wool tops for 3D needle felting. I've literally stopped using them as soon as I discovered wool bats, and that's many, many years ago. I started out with wool tops over 20 years ago, and now I just literally use wool bats for everything. But if you've got a lovely top and you want to use it, then you can, by doing this method where you mix up the wool for starters. So get it mixed up and messy. That makes it easier for the fibers to get felted down. And then use some greaseproof paper. That is a really good technique, and everybody has got that at home, right? Or if you don't, it's really easy to buy. You find that in all supermarkets, and you can use that for making your perfect little toadstool. So of course, once you've got a shape, it's very noisy, I will give you that. Once you've got a shape that you sort of look up and you think, oh, that's roughly there, but very, very messy around the edges. Of course, that is when we bring in our edging tool. Now this edging tool is quite small in comparison to the others that we do. So we have this size, and then we have one bigger size, which I know is here somewhere. I saw it earlier. This is what I mean. They're really hard to spot because they're so see-through. So put a little bit of washi tape on them. There it is. Oh, that paper still needs to be peeled off. Let's do that. So this is you see the sizes that we actually do in the shop. If you've missed out in this year's advent calendar, I'm telling you now, it is really worth getting it still. We've still got a few left, and they're now reduced down to £40. But I genuinely think that it's such a good investment, and it will not go any lower. We will take them off our website soon, and then that's it. We do have, however, got a new offer going this week, and that is 3 for 2 on Christmas kits. So if you need to stock up on some gifts still, this is just about the right time to do it. So I'm using the largest edging tool just because I've gone a bit bigger with that toadstool than I planned on going. So you wedge it between your two discs if you've not used this before, and then you just stab into the edge, and magically it will neaten it up by stabbing into it. This will save your fingers having to stab into a very narrow edge, and you can do this all the way around, and it will actually shrink your shape down a lot more as well. And you can manipulate the actual shape as well. So, and then of course, once you've done this, you can take it out of your edging tool again. Just make sure you're between the two shapes, because I've done this before, happily stabbing away, and the first few stabs went past one of the outside of the discs and straight into my finger, because I now just wriggle the needle like this to make sure I'm in between the two discs. Here we go. So then of course you can bring it back onto your felting mat, and you can do a little bit more stabbing. And if you've got the 5 needle clover tool, you can even speed up the flat felting a little bit more. And I'm going to work quite a bit more in a minute on the coloring of that stem, but I'm also having to put white spots on it. So felt it down flat, put it back into the edging tool, probably almost fits the little one now. Yeah, we can work with that. Just move it around. There we go. You don't need a big edging tool, but of course we're crafters, hey, we need it all, the full set. And then around here. And it's very satisfying. It's very satisfying because you can see what you're doing. I think that's probably the most satisfying thing, is that you see for the first time how much this needle shrinks it all back. Before it's always sort of like, yes, you know it's shrinking it back, but this is like magic. So now you can start adding little spots, but before I do this, I'm just going to check in how things are going. This flipping thing is not working. I told my daughter it's not working. Oh, it's working now. Okay, hang on a second. What do I need to do? I need to go. Oh, no, I don't need to go there. I need to go. Sorry, I've completely forgot. Here we go. Right, I'm just going to have a quick look what people are saying. Angie says, I've now got an extra. Oh, no, we've said that already. Being reminded that Tomka brought me. You're all speechless. I hope you're speechless in awe. That would be good. Let me know what you're thinking to making this little toadstool from, and you can make loads. Honestly, you have so much wool there. You can make loads of little hanging toadstool decorations, and it is a real theme this year on Christmas trees. Wherever I've been looking for Christmas tree decorations, the toadstool was always the first thing that I could see. So adding little spots into it, so you can actually concentrate the spots just on the white. So if you take a little bit of the colorful wool and make sure it's mostly white, and then add a little spot wherever you feel needs to go. And what I've done is, because when you felt it on, it comes out at the other side. So I've now mark it there with a needle, because I'm pushing straight away another white spot onto the opposite side. So it's literally on the other side as well. So just put that down. I quite like it when there's the odd colorful spot that emerges. And then there we go. Do a bit on that side again until you're happy with the spots. Another bit of wool. Scrunch it up. You don't need to do too much with it. Put it down here. So you can make big spots, little spots, hundreds of spots, 3 or 4 spots, whatever takes your fancy. I'll mark that there. Is there a bit of white? So I'm just pulling out the little colorful splashes of colors there. Leah says, I'm going to have to rewatch this again, trying to make a birthday cake and watch isn't working. Yes, you might end up using your edging tool and making a cake. Not so good. Okay, so and then what I did also is I sort of made one that looked like it's on both, and for that I've just pulled a little bit of the white off again, scrunch it up, put it on the area that I want to overlap like this, and then do it on the other side as well. It honestly is such an easy but very, it is something about the color combination that looks very earthy. I quite like that sort of more natural look. That red is a really organic looking color, and mixing it with that slightly the slightly white mottled wool is lovely actually. It works perfect for toadstools as far as I'm concerned. So to get this neat, out comes the edging tool again, and you're just stabbing into this part to have the white spot go over both sides. That's it. And add more spots if you like. If you've got a nice thread to hang them up, then do so. Just one more spot, and then I can show you how we can soften this down a little bit as well. If you don't want it to be quite so colorful, there's quite a lot of colors on there. On here, and then one on the other side as well. Going in here. Some of these parts in the wool are whiter than others, so you might be able to pull out a really white bit. And felt that down. That's it. So I consider this toadstool finished. But if you do want to soften this down a little bit, then you could pull out maybe the colors you actually want to have on that stem, like maybe a little bit of green for grass, and shorten the fibers and then overlay it so that it goes in the direction that you want it to go, and just felt it down. So if you're not so happy with how the pattern on the toadstool stem has worked itself naturally, you can influence that a little bit. You can build more layers as well, of course, and pop it back under the edging tool, because it will just neaten the edges again. So nothing needs to be finished until you consider it finished. And like I say, I really quite like it. I really wanted to make a mushroom with this wool on the top and then maybe brown at the bottom. Just as another idea, if you have a brown wool, you can make it maybe with that at the top, make a colorful top. Maybe put some red spots on. Just have a little play. But of course, there are zillions of uses for this color wool and type of wool, and do share with us what you're using it for. So always really interested in that, of course. So little toadstool, toadstool 1, toadstool 2. Now, just to confuse you entirely, I have actually tried to make a 3D toadstool to start with, which is also an idea. It is quite hard to needle felt this wool into a 3D shape. So for the top, I've scrunched it up and made a flattish shape. And then here I've cheated a little bit. I've put some core wool inside. But you can use it all to cover up the wool as well, or the shape as well. So as an outer coloring. And yeah, that's it. Toadstool 1, toadstool 2, all done. I always think they look nice as earrings. If you want to wear toadstool earrings, doesn't. Maybe a hair clip. Maybe as a napkin holder. Maybe fasten the napkin holder. So they'll just pop them on a card. You can have them on, I don't know, put them on your handbag with a pin, or you can even needle felt your jumper and wear them as a brooch. I mean, who doesn't need a flat mushroom like that? And it's a toadstool, and they're magical. We all know that. So, that's it. Excellent. Right, just a quick check-in. Totally love the red and the off-white together. I do as well. It is actually really, really nice. That red is exactly right for Toadstool, says Anne. Thank you. Pip says mushrooms are the theme of my daughter's advent calendar. I got her loads of little mushroom themed gifts. You might. Leah says, oh no, Leah was baking and leaving. So any which way, this is it. Mushroom time, toadstool time, and hopefully you like them as much as I do. And I want to see loads of those appear on Every Wanna Maker, or maybe share it as part of your Christmas. Attached to a lot of the stuff. I haven't put another date down for the advent calendar tomorrow, but I will do so in due. I'm just coming up for air. I had to leave the house at 6 o'clock this morning, take the van back, and then yeah, be on the road, come back in to the workshop, sort things out, be on calls all morning. So no wonder I've got the time completely muddled up. I do apologize. I said 2 o'clock and I'm here at 1 o'clock. Oh dear. You should know me by now. You can have to build in all these eventualities. Be getting any which way. I hope you're all well and hanging in there. It's nearly Christmas. We're hopefully a little bit of a break. Some of you, that's when it becomes extra busy. I don't envy you. For me, Christmas is about closing the door and chilling out. So hopefully that rings true for some. You do what you need. Yeah, everybody. Bye bye.